Fisherman How-To series is brought to you by Penn. Let the battle begin.
Being in the back bays at dawn, quiet, still water, when a 30-pound fish comes up on a pencil pop or on a metal lip swimmer, it's like a Volkswagen fell into the water. Everything's exaggerated, the strike, the sounds, really seem more in tune with nature, when you fish in these back bay areas and the estuaries. It's really a great experience.
When the sun first rises here in the morning, it's an absolute sight to behold. Sunrises are unobstructed by buildings and trees and things that would otherwise distract from the beauty of the occasion. But more importantly, what you do see here is like a rebirth for a new day. The birds will come out, the birds will start feeding, the fish will come up, they'll start feeding on bait fish on the surface. And it has to be one of the most environmentally rewarding experiences that you can have, just to see all of this come to life. And for guys like me who fish back here, it's just an absolute joy. Bingo!
All right.
The estuaries are great because they're safe harbor. They're safe harbor for bait fish. They're safe harbor for spawning fish. What we see coming out of the estuaries, of course, are what you would expect to see: is spearing, killies, small and nurturing fish. But in the springtime, a lot of fish come up here to spawn. When
you fish in these back bay areas, you really want to target the banks. That's where a lot of the life is. That's where the fish come in to feed on. They'll pull mussels off the bank. They'll be right up against the bank. So you want to make your cast as close to the bank as possible. Sometimes you can even lay it on the grass and drop it into the water, and the fish will nail it immediately. But you want to look for like some of the points. Anywhere you have drains emptying out into channels is always a good spot, especially on a dropping tide. Obviously, they empty out. There are times the fish will be in deeper water. Keep an eye out for bird activity. You will see fish feeding on the top. If there's big bait around like bunker, obviously keep an eye out for bunker schools. It's usually fish with them, riding herd. Even if they're not up on top, it could be down deep on the bottom. Right in the head.
There you go.
Talk about tight. That was right up in the grass. Well, for surf fishermen, the back bays are a unique experience. Totally different than fishing the open beaches and big water, fishing inlets. Quiet water. You can fish a wide variety of tackle. People think the back bays is all small fish and light tackle. Nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, you can fish a little 6.5 foot rod and catch schoolies, but you can also throw a 10 or 11 foot rod with big metal lip swimmers and 3-ounce or 2-ounce pencil poppers and catch fish up to 30 and 40 pounds. A lot depends on the bait that's available at the time. Small bait, generally smaller fish. You get big bait like bunker, herring in the back bays, and then they do come in the back bays, snappers, baby weak fish, and the big fish feed on that. I think one reason a lot of surf fishermen don't fish the back bays is access is always in question. Generally you don't have major parking lots or parks with direct access to the back bays. So sometimes it takes a little bit of walking, a little bit of creativity, and going into areas that aren't really publicized. They're very low key. And the advantage to that is it's a great atmosphere, nice and quiet, very little competition, and you rarely see other anglers back there. Something to keep in mind always when you fish in these back bay areas is quiet. Whether you're fishing the beach or fishing the boat, your approach always has to be quiet, stealthy. These fish will be in 2 feet of water right up against the bank. You don't want to spook them. With a boat, you want to ease in, cut the engine, or really crank it down and ease in very slowly, drift into an area you want to fish if you can, like in front of a drain. And if you're fishing on the shoreline, fishing the beach, don't go splashing into the water. The odds are, there's fish laying in 2-3 feet of water that you're going to spook out of there. Always take a couple of casts before you even set foot in the water if it's necessary. Penn has a whole lineup of rods and reels ideally suited to this kind of fishing. On the lighter end, a 7-footer, something in the battalion line, like this particular rod here, is ideal. You can match it up to one of the Battle 2 series reels or the conflict reels. 3500, 4000 series reels are ideal for this, and it allows you to throw bucktails, lighter swimming plugs, and small poppers. If you want to step up to something a little more versatile, select some rods maybe in the 8 to 9 foot range. You have some really nice models in the Carnage series and in the Battalion series that are ideal for this type of situation. You can match those up to the V series reels or the Battle 2s, perfect for this, and they match up real nicely to these rod lines. For some heavier work, and especially not so much for the boat, but from the banks and from the shore, and if you're throwing bigger payloads, you want to step up to a 10-footer. The Carnage series, the Battalion series, Prevail series all have some nice 10-footers that are well suited to this fishing. You can match those up to, again, V series. The Torque is a really nice sealed reel, and the Battle 2s, all perfect for this type of outfit. Whether you're a surf fisherman or a boat fisherman, the opportunities back here are wonderful. You really should take advantage of them. Spend a little time, explore the back bays in your area, the estuaries, and I think you're really going to find yourself changing the way you fish, and you'll expand your horizons tremendously.
To receive the latest fishing reports, subscribe to the Fisherman's YouTube page. Click subscribe, then click the settings button and check Send Me Updates. You'll now receive notifications of the latest Fisherman YouTube videos and reports. If you're already a subscriber, make sure you've checked Send Me Updates in the settings so you receive the latest notifications.